Good morning, student. Our first topic for cybersecurity, that is communication. So before the start of cybersecurity, we have to know about the terminology of networking. So that is why first, if we are talking about the cybersecurity, we will start introduction part of the network. So these are the topic that covered on this lecture. So first, that is introduction about the computer networks, what it is exactly, how it will work, what are the different components required for the communication, how data flow, what's the goal of computer network, what are the different applications of computer network, and different types of a network. So if we are talking about the introduction part, introduction of computer network. So basically it is a data communication. So data communication that refers to the exchange of data between source and destination. As shown in the image, one is source and another one is a destination where we just transfer the data. So data communication is tends to be local if communicating device are the same building or similar restricted geographical area. Like when we are talking about the local area network, where you are directly communicating with your physically endpoint that is connected with the different switches and hubs. So the meaning of source and receiver are very simple. The device that transmit the data is known as source, and the device that receive the transmitted data is known as receiver. So basically data communication is to transfer data and maintain the data during the process, but not the actual generation of the information of the source and destination. That is the basic introduction of the computer networks. That means we have one source. That means if we can say we need one source and we need one destination, because whenever we just transfer the data, we want the destination address, whether the destination address is IP address or whether the destination address is email address. Okay, so on that time we need some receivers, transmitters, or transmission mediums. Then if we are talking about the component of data communication system, so first that is message. So message, that if we are talking that information of data to be communicated, that is a message. It can consist of text, pictures, or any type of video or any combination of the image, text, that is a message. Second, that is sender. If you are talking about the sender, that means it is a device, computer that generate the, or we can say that generated the, sends that message, particularly that generators who wants to send the data, that is a sender. Another one is receiver, that is the main part. Receiver, that it is a device or computer that receive the message. The location of the receiver, we can say that receiver computer is generally different from the sender computer. So this distance between sender and receiver, that depends upon the type of network used in between, whether we are talking about the local area network, whether we are talking about the wide area network. We need one receiver. Fourth mind, that is medium. So medium, it is a channel, or we can say that physical path through which the message is carried from the sender to the receiver. So the medium can be wired, like twisted pair, coaxial cable, fiber optic cable, or we can say that wireless, like we are talking about the radio waves, microwaves. And last, that is a main part, that is protocol. Protocol, that we can say that it is a set of rules that governs the communication between the device. That means both sender and receiver follow same protocol to communicate with each other. If they are not belonging from the same protocol, that means they won't be able to understand the communication between two devices. That is a main role of the protocol. The bookish language, that says it is a set of rules. Set of rules, that means both ends, they can understand the communication between us. Next part, the protocol perform the following function. If we are talking about a one single protocol, that means they perform different tasks. First, that is data sequencing. Data sequencing, it refers to breaking a long message into a small packet of fixed size. Data sequencing rules define the method of numbering packets to detect loss or duplicate packets and to be correctly identify packets which belongs to the same message. That means need of a sequencing, that if we are talking about a sequencing part, so if sequencing is there, numbering is there, that means we easily identify where or which packet we lost or which packet we are having the duplicacy part, or we can say that the redundancy part. Second, data routing. So data routing, that defines the most efficient path between you and your destination. That find the routing from where your data travel fastest or reach the fastest to your destination. Third point, data formatting. So data formatting, that rules define which group of bits or character within a packet that constitute data, control, address, or the other information. That is the part of the data formatting. Fourth point, that is flow control. Flow control, and this a communication protocol also prevent a fast sender from overhauling a slow receiver. It ensures resource sharing and protection against traffic congestion by regulating the flow of data on communication line. Flow control, that means both end are sender as well as the receiver, they are having the same speed. If I am going to transfer a data in the speed of suppose 10 mbps suppose, and a receiver, they are having a receiving the data with 1 mbps, so there is a communication gap, flow of control is not properly working. So on that case, maybe our receiver not receive all the components or not receive all the packets. That means the packet, sometimes some packets will be lost. So flow control, that control the flow of control both sides. Fifth, that is error control. So error control, that these rules are designed to detect error in message and to ensure transmission of correct message. The most common method is to transmit the message. In such a case, a block having error is discarded by the receiver and it retransferred by the sender. So if some packets lost or some packet is having the error, so protocol that again maintain one function, that is error control. Next that is precedence and order of transmission. These rules ensure all the nodes get a chance to use the communication lines and other resource of the network base of properties assigned to them. Next that is connection established and transmitting. So these rules defines how connection are established, then maintained and transmitted when two nodes of network work then want to communicate with each other. Suppose in this case, I am going to take another one example, that is whenever we are sending a ping command to the destination, that means we are just checking the connection or checking the network between the destination, whether our destination is ready to communicate or not. If we are talking about the ping command, because ping commands having a one function, that is they first send the request, or we can say that in typically word, they first send the echo request to the destination, then sender or receiver, we can say receiver, they send back the confirmation, yes, I am ready to communicate with you. That means first they send the request and they will get a reply back from the destination. Next, that is data security. Protocol also provide the data security. It provide data security and privacy is also built into the most communication software packages. It prevent access of data by unauthorized access. Okay, that means they provide the secure data. Next, that is log information. That is very much important in the case of protocol, log information. So several communication softwares are designed to develop log informations, which consists of all jobs and data communication tasks that have taken place. Such information may be used for charging the uses, or we can say that the user of the network, that based upon the uses of the network resources. If I'm going to take the my system's log record, so it will shows the complete task, those who are performing on this PC. So it will show the complete log information of that. So next we have that is data flow, how data transfer. So if we are talking about the just definition part of data flow, that is communication means the transfer or exchange of data between two different devices. In communication process, whenever data transfer, it depends upon the condition or depends upon the that through which type data will transfer. So in that case, buses and networks are designed to allow communication to occur between individual devices that are reconnected. Or we are talking about the flow of information or data between nodes that can take a variety of forms. Variety of forms. We are having three variety of forms. First one, that is simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. If we are talking about the simplex, so this is a basic diagram for simplex. So simplex, the communication is unidirectional, as on one-way street. Only one of the two devices on a link can transmit. The other can only receive. If you're talking about the keyboard and traditional monitor are example of simple devices, the keyboard can only introduce input and monitor can only accept output. The simplex mode can use the entire capacity of the channel to send data in one direction. Simplex, that means one-way communication, only one-way communication. In the given example, only data transfer direction from keyboard to monitor, as shown on the picture. But computer cannot send the data to the, cannot send instruction to the particular keyboard. Only it will receive the input from keyboard. Monitor only just display the data. So this is a simplex is a biggest example in this case. And another example in the case of simplex, that is our remote, our TV remote, where we can just press single key from the remote button and our TV or LCD that perform the particular task. Again, that is the one-way communication. That is again simplex part. If we are talking about the half duplex, so in this device, in the data flow will flow in both direction, but not at the same time. For example, if two devices are connected, both of them can send information to each other, but not at the same time. When one device will send data, the other device will receive it. Then it cannot send back at the same time. After receiving it, they can send data. So in half duplex, channel will use all its capacity of each direction. So this type will be used in the communication. So in which there is no need to response at the same time. For example, so biggest example in this case, that is the walkie-talkie. So in that case, we just say, okay, over, now you can say anything. So this is the way to communicate in the case of half duplex. So next we have the full duplex mode. So in full duplex mode, also we can say that duplex. So both stations can transmit and receive simultaneously. The full duplex mode is like a two-way street with traffic flow in both direction at the same time. In full duplex mode, signals going in one direction share the capacity of the link with signal going in the other direction. So this sharing can occur in two ways. Either the link must contain two physical separate transmission path, one for sending and the other for receiving, or the capacity of channel is divided between signals that traveling in both directions. So one common example of full duplex communication is a telephone network. When two people are communicating by a telephone line, so both can talk and listen at the same time. The full duplex mode is used when communication is in both direction is required at the time. So the capacity of the channel, however, must divided between two directions. Example of full duplex, again, that is example is our mobile phone, where we just transfer the data and receive the data simultaneously. So before moving further, so next we have goal of computer network. So if we are talking about the goal of network, so in this case, we are having three different points: resource sharing, saving money, and data sharing. So before explaining these points, I'm just going to define the goal of the computer. So a computer network or data network is a digital communication network which allows nodes, or we can say that computers, to share resources. In computer networks, networked computing devices exchange data with each other. As you people are know about how we can transfer the data or how we can share the resources, we will do one practical with this part, that is resource sharing. On that case, we use different switches and we will use 4 or 5 computers, and we create one drive as a shared drive. Then we will transfer the data and we will receive a data. Before that, we have to know about how we can assign the IP address. We will assign IP address. Then I will tell you, if you people just forgot that, I will tell you how we can assign the IP address. So the connection between nodes are established using with either cable media or either wireless media. So both types we will do in the practical section, whether it is the cable media and wireless. With the in the case of wireless, we will use one of access point, and in the case of cable media, we will use our patch cables are. So a computer network is defined as interconnected connection. Interconnect connection of what? That is for autonomous computer. So computers are said to be interconnected. So if they are able to exchange information, connection is physically established through cables, whether we are talking about the cable part or whether we are talking about the wireless part. So first method is to check whether your destination is ready to communicate with you. So first command we have on that time, that is ping command. We will do practical for this in our lab part. So ping is a first command to check the connection between the two devices. So what do you mean by word autonomous? As I said, it's an autonomous computer. And what do you mean the word of autonomous? So autonomous is an one computer in the network that cannot start or stop the control another computer in the network. In other words, the computer works independently. That means computer work independently. So this is in sharp contrast of a computer with full control over many slaves. This is not a computer network. We are just talking about the one of the goal, that is. So these all are the goal point for resource sharing. So first, we need to specify the criteria for the data communication network. So these all are the major criteria that a data communication network must meet. So first, in that case, that is performance. Performance. So performance is the defined as a rate of transferring error-free data. If we are transferring error-free data, that is why we are saying our performance is good. So it is measured by the response time. So response time is a elapsed time between the end of an inquiry and the beginning of the response. So request a file transfer and start a file transfer. So factors, there are some factors that affect response times. There are some factors in the case of performance. So first factor in that case, that is number of users. So again, performance that depends upon the number of users. Second, number of users, that means more users on a network, slower the network will run. If we are having number of users more, our speed that comes slow down. Second factor under performance, that is transmission speed. So speed that data will be transmitted that measure in bits per second. Third factor in the case of performance, that is media type. So type of physical connection used to connect nodes together. So media type is again tells the performance of the network. Fourth factor in the case of performance, that is hardware type. Slower computers such as XT or fast such as the Pentium. So hardware type that tells the performance of the network. Last factor in the case of performance, that is software program. Software program, that how well in the network operating system we return. It means when we are talking about the network part, we are having different types of operating system that is specifically for networking. Networking, that we can say that the sum of operating systems are servers. So second criteria for data communication network, that is reliability. So reliability is a measure of how often a network is usable. So in this case, one term we use, that is mean time between failures, is a measure of the average time a component is expected to operate between the failures. So normally provided by the manufacturers, a network failure can be whether it is hardware failure, data carrying medium, and network operating system, where we can say that NOS part, network operating system part. Third criteria, that is a security. Security is a protection of hardware, software, and data from unauthorized access. So restricted physical access to computers, we just applying some password protections, limiting users privileges, and data encryption are common security method. So one of the security method, that is antivirus, that monitoring program to defend the applications from different viruses are this for the security measurement. So what they provide differently, that is they provide the unauthorized access, because we have to secure from unauthorized access, we have to secure from different viruses. So these three criteria are required for the data communication. Performance, first we need the performance. If we are doing number of users are more, that means our performance goes down. If we are talking about the reliability, our data must be reliable. Security, that means we have to prevent our data from the unauthorized access. So these all are the criteria for the data communication. Next, we have the applications of computer network. So we have different applications of computer network. So first application, that is marketing and sales. So if we are talking about the marketing and sales, marketing professionally use them to collect, exchange and analyze data relating to customers' need and product development cycles. So marketing that depends upon the customer's requirement, and sales application that include the tally shopping, which use order entry computers or telephone that connected to the other processing network, and online reservation services for railway, hotel, airlines, restaurants, any kind of online reservation, that part of the sales. If they are providing online feature for marketing as well as for sales. So if we are talking about a marketing and sales, that means we need some of computers where we just receive the order and send the confirmation mail to the particular client, whether your order is picked up or where your order it is exactly, if we are tracking the order. Second part, that is financial services. So it include credit history search, foreign exchange and investment services, and different types of electronic fund transfer, which allows a user to transfer money without going to bank. If in the case of financial service, we are having different types of applications, whether we are using Google Pay, whether we are talking about the phone pay, these all are the features of financial services. Or right now, most of the banks, they are providing the mobile banking services with that. So with the help of mobile banking services, we can transfer our financial, or we can say that we just transfer the money to any bank, not the specific bank you have. You can transfer money to anyone. Third, that is for manufacturing. So if we are talking about the manufacturing part, computer networks are used today in many aspects of manufacturing. So including the manufacturing process itself, two aspects that uses network to provide essential services are computer aided design, that is CAD CAM, computer aided design and computer assisted manufacturing. So both of which allow multiple user to work on a project, that is simultaneously working in the case of manufacturing the part. Fourth point, that is electronic messaging. So electronic messaging, you people are very much aware from that. That is email. Email transfer the message between two and more users in a network. With this application, users can transfer the information in the form of, whether you want to send a text to your destination, whether you want to transfer a picture, a voice, any kind of message. If you want to use your email account, so that is the example under electronic messaging. Next, that is directory services. So in the case of directory services, it allows list of files to be stored in central location to speed up the worldwide search. So example, in this case, we are having different types of search engines. Like we are having the most of the time we people use, that is the Google search engine. Next, sometime we will use the Yahoo search engine. So these are the directory services, those who are providing services for the users to specific. If you just write on a Google, I want this, or we can say that I want woodland jacket. So on that time, they will show the nearby locations where you are having the different stores. So again, they are providing the search engines. Next, that is information services. So information services, it include, if we are talking about a WWW, World Wide Web, so it offers the technical specification for a new product in the information service. What any type of information you require, you just write www dot whatever you want to be write. Suppose Amritsar.in, it will open the, if if amritsar.com is website is active, then it will show the web page of that particular information that provide the information about this particular address, because that address we generally we says in the networking part, that is our URL. So whatever you just write the URL on a www.yahoo.com, so it provide the information. Next, that is cellular telephones. So in this case, it allows conferences to occur without the participating in the same location. Like right now, we are just communicating with the help of network. So in this case, we are having different way to communication. First, that is text conference. Text conference, that means participants communicates through their keyboards, keyboards and computer monitors, where they just send the text message to the destination end, or we can say the exchange message. Second, in the case of cellular telephone, that is voice conference. In this case, participants at the number of locations communicating simultaneously through phones, where we just call the conference call. Again, that is the example under cellular telephone. Third point under cellular telephone, that is video conferencing. That is again the part of teleconferencing. Teleconferencing, again, that is the wireless part, and cellular telephoning, again, that is the wireless part. In this case, we are just communicating or transferring the data with video conferencing, where we just transfer data or share some videos in the case of teleconferencing. Cellular telephone, again, that is a wireless phone communication even while traveling through long distance. Sometime we will join some people from your side, some people they join this lecture from your mobile phone. So this is the example under cellular telephone. Next, that is last, we have the applications of computer network. That is, it's not a last, I mean, we are having ample number of the applications of computer network. So last but not the least, that is cable TV. So this is the widest usable thing today throughout the world, because we all are connected with the cable TV. We watch some kind of web series, any kind of cable we just use. So this is a application of computer network. So after that, I'm going to launch the next is types of computer networks. So we have different types of networks. We can create different types of network. So most of you people learn about the local area network, LAN, MAN, WAN, maybe WWAN, maybe CAN, PAN, SAN, or EPN. We will discuss all of the types of network. So first we have that is LAN, that is local area network. So this is one of the original category of network and one of the simplest. So LAN network that connect computers together over relatively small distance, such as within a single building or within a small group of building, where you just create a small network, because there is a limitation in the case of LAN. We cannot expand large network with the help of cables. So local area network is a group of computers and associated devices that share a common communication line or wireless network to a server. Common communication line, suppose in the case of our lab, we have one switch and we just connected 30 PC with a or 20 PC with a single switch. So that is a physical medium. If you are talking about the wireless LAN, because we have another example of another type of WLAN, that is wireless LAN. So second we have that is MAN. If we are talking about the MAN, that is metropolitan area network. So in that case, we just use, or we can just create a network city, within a city. On that time, we just say that's our metropolitan area network. If we are talking about the WAN, wide area network, so this is another of original category of network and slightly more complex in nature. So WAN is wide area network that connect computers together over large physical distance, or we can say that with the help of remotely connecting with over the one of the huge network and allow them to communicate even when far apart. For the WAN area, we need the internet. So the internet is a WAN and connects computer all around together. So WAN is a geographic. So there is a network problem. So we are talking about the WAN part, wireless area network. That is the geographical area is too large. In the case of wide area network, we can transfer data to the destination that is far away from us. So next we are having that is WLAN. WLAN, that is wireless local area network. On that case, the terms refer the physical medium consists of cables. The cable can be copper wire, twisted pair. If we are talking about the wired network, in the case of local area network. If we are talking about the wireless LAN, at that time we are talking about the talking about the access points. Access points in the case of wireless LAN. So next we have that is CAN. So CAN, that is the campus area network. Campus area network. So campus area network, for example, if we are taking the example in this case, our college is using cyber room. So whenever you want to connect internet, when you are in the college, on that time you have to log in first cyber room, then you are able to access the internet in the college lab. So that is the example under CAN. PAN, that is personal area network. People aware about that. That is the simplest example in the case of Bluetooth. That is the personal area network. Next, SAN, that is storage. We can say that storage area network, system area network, server area network. For that means we just create sometimes small area network. Just we want to create a small network. Like we are taking the example, that is one lab. For a single lab, we use one switch with 10 PC. That is a small area network. Last, that is EPN, that is based upon the enterprise private network. They are providing some private network. If you want to access the internet or access the some network, on that time they use enterprise private network. So this is all about your first lecture. Then okay students, now I'm going to end this session.